Today we're looking at lesson 62. We're going to look at finding surface area and volumes of cylinders. What other figures have we done? No, like solid. We did the volume of a prism and the surface area of a prism. All right. So first we're going to look at a little bit of vocabulary. What is the base of a cylinder? One of the two circular surfaces. The base is always going to be one of the two circular surfaces. The altitude is the segment that is perpendicular to and has endpoints on the planes of the bases. The length of the altitude is the height of the cylinder. The radius of your cylinder is the distance from the center of your base to any point on the edge of the base. If you think about a cylinder, its base is a circle, so the radius of the cylinder is the radius of the base. So, do I need to go over the base, the altitude, or the radius? Any questions there? Okay. Looking at the lateral area of a cylinder, well, what is lateral area? Yeah, the stuff that's not the base. It's only the area of the curved surface of a cylinder. So if you think of like a can of soup, the lateral area is going to be where the label is. And it's found using that formula, 2 pi r. Are you going to have to know that formula? What does the R stand for? What does the H stand for? Okay. What is 2 pi r? You're basically looking at your perimeter times your height. 2 pi r is your perimeter, your circumference of a circle. So perimeter times your height. They just usually leave them in R. But you could do pi d times h. Okay, looking at the formula for the total surface area, you're going to take the lateral area and add it to the total base area. So you're going to have your lateral area, and you're going to add it to 2 bases, so 2 pi r squared. Are you going to have to know this formula? On the EOC, they may give you some of these formulas. Maybe, maybe not. But on the ACT, they're not ever going to give you formulas, hardly. You're usually just going to have to know it. All right, and then one more formula, the volume of a cone. Of a cylinder, yes. Pi r squared times your height. The area of the base times the height. Any questions on those 3 so far? Okay, so now we're going to practice with our formulas. So see if you can find the lateral area of the cylinder, and it wants it in terms of pi. Alright, so who wants to go write their answer? .4 pi? Why not around 70? Leave it in terms of pi. So should pi be in your answer? Yes, that means you don't plug in pi in your calculator. Meters squared, because it's area. Any other questions on this one? 22.4. Pi, yes. Okay, see if you can find the total area of this cylinder in terms of pi. Okay, so is it saying the whole thing is 8 or the half is 8? The whole thing. Because, do you see how it has the black line through the whole thing? On this one, it was only through half of it. Does that make sense? Top. Do I need to go over that one? Yard square? Yeah. Alright. Now we're going to look at the difference between a right cylinder and an oblique cylinder. The right cylinder faces are aligned directly on top of each other. So you could take your hands and just do this, and it would tell you where the bases are. Some of them do this. If the bases are not right on top of each other, it is an oblique cylinder. Oh. Well, you have like a formal one, like that is planned, and then there's an informal one that they just show up. Okay, we're going to practice saying this word. What is it? Oblique. Let's say it again. Oblique. All right, Molly, what is it like? What does your oblique help you do? Yeah? Okay. So, this one on the left is a right cylinder. This one on the right is an oblique cylinder. What happened to it? It was tilted. Okay, so I want y'all to look at my pennies back here. same concept as with an oblique. It just, this part doesn't change, the other ones just fall into place. Alright, so let's see if we can find the volume of this right cylinder in terms of pi. The formula is the exact same for a right cylinder as it is for an oblique cylinder. What? Why does it usually smile? That's why I noticed. Not like. What is your R on this one? Why not 40? Because the 40 is the whole thing. So you'd have 20 squared, and then what would be your height? Does that make sense? Alright, so let's look at another example. A water storage tank is 30 feet tall and 20 feet in diameter. How many cubic feet of water can the tower hold? And this one wants you to use 3.14 to approximate pi. Cubic feet is volume. What do y'all think it is? All right, how would you find that? Okay, 10 squared times 30 and times pi. Does that make sense? All right, so see if you can do these two practice problems. That's what your formula is, yeah? Huh? Because that's your perimeter. They usually do it in R. Yeah, use pi, but then plug pi into your calculator. Possible. There should be a way to make it not in terms of pi. Should be. Okay. Which one? Round it to the whole number. All right, so what would the lateral area for the first one be? Do you agree with Molly? About 28 inches squared for this area. Do I need to go over that first one? Okay, what about the second one? Okay, so to the nearest square centimeter would be 18,692 centimeters squared. Do I need to go over that one? Okay. Looking at 2 more practice problems. All right, what do you get for your volume? What, Destiny? 4,326 feet cubed. Any questions there? Okay, so a farmer has a cylindrical silo to store grain. Do y'all know what a silo is? With the red and the white. Okay, yeah. Usually in real life they're just metal. They can't afford the paint to paint them. They usually just leave them as metal. But yes. But no, I know what you're talking about. The little toy ones are red and white. If you go down to Baton Rouge, you usually see a ton of them right after you leave past Rabel in like Winfield. So we have a grain silo, and it has a radius of 75 feet and is 150 feet tall. What is the storage capacity? A lot, yes. But what exactly? They may keep other stuff in there. We just don't have it around here for us to know about it. Corn, grain, maybe wheat. I don't know. No, I mean like all one thing in there. Any questions on either of these practice problems? You should get like 2,600,000 something. Yes. All right.